Right, we're live. So, welcome
Great.
back to the episode of Ours Not Yours podcast, episode
Hi.
number 13.
Ooh.
As per our previous episodes, we're going to have a bit of a catch up, and then we're going to dive into our three topics. So, how's your week been?
Feels like the. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, something weird happened. I'll have to use the fucking headphone mic. It's been good. I've fuck. What have I done? I knew I had something to talk about earlier. Like I was thinking about something like this has actually happened to me now, but I have no clue what that was right now. uh, it's been a good week. We talked on Sunday, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, not that much. I've been so tired at work that I have spent like on Monday. I think I spent like 4 hours sleeping in the like teachers' lounge. Uh, I just lay down in a sofa and fell asleep and spent like 4 hours during the day sleeping. So that's been my week pretty much. It's been my TV died as well, so I had to buy a new one. But I've kept that TV for 14 years. I bought it for my first salary paycheck ever. So I think it's lived a life. Other than that, I
yeah.
haven't done that much. How about you?
Uh, Nothing much. Not a lot really. I bought my. Well, what did I do? Um, oh yeah. If you noticed anything different, it's because I bought myself a new laptop. Hence
That's
the
great.
better quality. There's no frame dropping as
Yeah,
of
I've been
yet.
thinking about that.
Fingers crossed. Um, I bought myself a microphone.
Yeah,
Which is what I'm currently testing out now.
you sound great.
This
You,
one. Um,
yeah,
it's the first time I've used it, so I'm gonna. So you know, so probably the next couple, or maybe 3 episodes, is probably gonna be a bit of a testing phase to
yeah,
get the right audio right. But yeah,
yeah. I think I've gone through like 4 or 5 like microphones during our 13 episodes of this podcast.
yeah. Well, I'm kind of hoping that this one, I've had one other microphone other than this one, and it served its purpose.
Yeah,
But I'm kind of hoping that with this one, it lasts a lot longer because it wasn't exactly cheap. I'll put it that way. This microphone here, which is an Elgato, this
mhm.
one was 100 and 160.
Yeah, they can be fucking.
So I'm kind of hoping that
Yeah,
it lasts
yeah,
because, like you, with replacing a TV or replacing anything, I hate that. I hate it.
yeah.
But apart from that, I've been doing. I've been keeping myself busy. I started yoga yesterday.
Yeah. It,
Um,
it feels good.
yeah, well, I've never done yoga before, so it's my first time. My first day was a bit rough, but I'm planning to do it consistently. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it's challenging. Well, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Coursework. I'm in the middle of writing another article for my upcoming magazine. So I've been pretty busy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I haven't had time to be on Twitter. I'll always call it Twitter because that's what it is. I haven't had
Yeah,
time to go
it's
on
it's
there as much, which is
huh?
probably a good thing because then I'm not I'm not, annoying myself due to stupidity.
Yeah, I've been having the fucking worst discussion of my life today.
Yeah, I briefly had a look earlier. I didn't really go too in depth with it, but
Uh,
it was just probably the usual.
yeah, it was like the thing was about safe space. Like I was on like Gemma's page, and I saw someone comment something about safe spaces and like not getting her point. So my discussion was actually never about safe spaces. It was only about like, no, you're misreading Gemma's point. And they just couldn't get it through the skull. It's still going, by the way, because they're trying to rope me into a discussion about safe spaces, something that I'm not fucking interested in having. I just wanted to argue linguistics. Why can't I just be allowed to argue linguistics?
Yeah, yeah. They always seem to argue or want to argue the most mundane, basic
Yeah.
shit. Like seriously, like you want to argue about the safe spaces. Like you can argue
Yeah.
about that all you want, but go ahead, waste
Yeah.
your time.
Fucking
It's
knock
not
yourself
really a
out, I
valid
guess.
argument now because I mean, I think we pretty much, this is the thing, right? And listen, this is what happens whenever you interact. The slightest bit of interaction with these people,
Yeah.
they blow everything out of proportion to the
Yeah.
nth degree. And it's like, do you even know what you're talking about?
They
No,
never do.
no, they
It's
don't.
impossible to set the terms for the discussion with them as well, which is very important to me because like uh, setting the terms for a discussion allows you to have a discussion in the first fucking place. Like without that, you have nothing. You're arguing, uh, you're arguing without agreeing on the semantics, which means that the argumentation is completely fucking futile. Um, because you're arguing like you're using the same word. Uh, it basically becomes an equivocation where you use the same words to mean completely fucking different things, and that's it doesn't fucking work like that. Like just generally, fucking humans, like human speech doesn't work like that. Like they attempt them to because they think like words have objective meaning, which is fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it's like even in different parts of the country, like I'm sure that in parts of Sweden, right,
Yeah,
you will have different colloquialisms, right?
yeah,
You have different sayings for different things, right? The same in the UK.
yeah,
And I had this one conversation. When was it? It was probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, max. This person was saying, "Oh, all I," he was saying, "Oh, English people always say like the C word, bitch, fuck, whatever. basically saying that he only hears this from English people, and I'm like,
Ever been,
no,
ever been to
it's not
Australia,
just.
mate?
It's not swear words. Swearing is not associated with just English people.
No,
Everyone
like
does it.
Australian people uses cunt to mean like mate. It's fucking weird being there.
Yeah.
I cunt.
Like,
Sorry, which I
I
like.
use it.
Yeah, same. I love the word cunt. It's like just do a Twitter search of me and the word cunt and see how often I've used it.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. I reported
Basically,
using it by someone who is apparently offended, which he
well,
wasn't.
if they're offended to be called a cunt, maybe they should stop being a cunt.
That's what I essentially said to her. But obviously she's too busy being offended, being a coward.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the
but
thing.
yeah,
That's
I
the thing.
mean,
It's the fucking cowardice.
yeah,
I
but it's like,
fucking hate it.
and they're like, and I was like, seriously, go anywhere. Walk 5 minutes down the street. Like you want to hear people of other cultures, other races, other ethnic, other backgrounds use more swear words than English people do. And it's like,
Yeah,
what is your argument? And it's like, you know what? Just fuck off. Cause I can't do with it.
yeah. I mean,
But
it's not like I only swear in English. I swear as much as in Swedish. Like, I'm one of the sweariest motherfuckers on the planet.
yeah,
I'm not English.
like it's like, what do these people not understand that? I can swear. I don't just swear in English.
Yeah.
There's Irish swear words that you can say in Gaelic. You know,
Oh God, I wish I knew Gaelic.
I know a few swear words in Spanish. I don't have to swear in English, but but
English is a
for
good
me,
language for swearing, though.
it's just more easier for me to tell someone in plain
Yeah.
English something that they can understand.
Yeah.
Like fuck off, rather than me
Yeah.
trying to explain to them what it fucking means in a different language.
It's kind of weird when you're having a discussion in English if you start like telling them like puta madre and stuff. It's weird. I have actually done though. I don't know. Do I still use törsapåg as my fucking? I don't know if I still use that. Like that's a Swedish swear word. Like I used it for the longest time. I don't know if I still. I think I'm still Maxi Pixie törsapåg in on my Twitter handle. I genuinely don't remember. But that's actually like that means ladies boy. That's like it's just a weird Swedish way of saying tranny, but it's really ancient. Um, Fun fact about my possible screen name, I genuinely don't remember. I need to check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still use it. Törsapåg is how that word is pronounced, by the way. Sorry, I kind got a brain worm of that word in my head. Needed to get that.
yeah. I get them occasionally where I
Yeah,
have like a brain freeze where I can't think of a word, and then
yeah,
it comes to me like half an hour later, and I'm like, fuck.
same.
Um, right. The first article, I thought I would get this one out of the way. I mean, we're probably going to be a bit uh, slightly angry in a way, but I thought I'd get it out of the way.
Yeah,
So basically, one day ago, a woman was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after a trans
Yeah.
teenager was stabbed 14 times in a shocking and violent attack in London. So the victim, an 18-year-old trans woman, was rushed to hospital after police were called to Masons Avenue in Wealdstone, northwest London, at around 7 p.m. GMT on Saturday, 10th of Feb. 19-year-old Summer Betts Ramsey has been charged with attempted murder and possession of an offensive weapon in public. She will remain in custody until March 12th, when a plea hearing is set to take place at the Old Bailey. Willesden Magistrates Court heard on Tuesday, 30th of Feb, that the victim had arranged to attend a roller skating party with friends in Harrow Leisure Centre on the day of the alleged attack. She was allegedly attacked by a group and was subjected to transphobic slurs. What a fucking surprise. Before being
Oh
stabbed
yeah.
14 times. She was rushed to hospital for treatment and subsequently discharged. 4 people have been arrested in connection with the alleged stabbing.
I fucking hate
And
these people.
this came the day before the vigil marking the 1-year anniversary of Brianna Gay's murder.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, I thought I'd get that one out of the way so that we don't have to end on an angry note. But
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, seriously.
It's so easy to not stab people to death. I keep coming back to that point, but like it's so easy to not do this kind of shit and people keep doing it. And like
Yeah.
just don't attempt murder, you fucking idiots. Jesus fucking Christ. Like at least gosh. I think Zack Snyder fans are fucking weirdos. I don't go around stabbing them. Like it's I'm sorry if I'm being reductionist right now, and I clearly am. Like I know that it's like not the same, but it kind of fucking is, because like being a Zack Snyder fan and being a trans person is kind of fucking similar in that it doesn't affect fucking anybody else. Like the worst part is you get to hear us talk about shit. Like you either get to hear us talk about how Zack Snyder is a fucking genius, or you get to hear us talk about how, like, I don't know, HRT made our cocks not working, which is like, yeah, it's annoying, but it's fucking, it's nothing. And like usually we don't talk about our cocks in public because it's weird.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder fans should really take the hint and stop talking about their weird fucking obsession in public. I'm really sorry to any Zack Snyder fans listening. Just get better taste, please.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck, I can't stop.
Liked
I like the guy. I like the guy. He seems like a fun guy. I just think he fucking sucks as a director. Like, yeah. But it's weird. I'm doing this because I'm desperately not. I don't want to be like shouting and angry right now. So which is why I'm doing the whole reductionist thing, because it makes it fucking easier to not shout at whoever fucking stabbed an 18-year-old trans girl 14 times until she's on the brink of fucking death. Like, fuck off, that person. Like, please stab yourself 14 fucking times. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do the world fucking service. I'm
gonna say something, right?
Yeah.
This may be controversial, but
Oh,
and believe me, people who do this, there are people who do this kind of stuff, like what happened to Brianna Gay, what's happened to this young woman.
yeah,
Those people who do that are clearly damaged. Right?
yeah,
They clearly have issues.
oh yeah,
Right? I'm not complete. Well, obviously, that has to be recognised. But
yeah,
do yourself a favour and do it to yourself, or reach out for help.
yeah. Like,
Don't
I
attack an innocent person like there's no need.
yeah, like I have my I get people having issues. Like I have my issues. Everyone has their cross to bear and stuff like that. Carry, cross to carry, not cross to bury. That mean completely different things. But everyone has their like burden to bear, and I get that, and I sympathize with that. Up to the point where you actually hurt other people, that's where like
Yeah,
you because you there is help to get. Like there is help out there, and at some point you don't stop being accountable for your actions. Like I've done shit in my past that I'm fucking not proud of. But when I realized that my actions hurt other people, like that my damage damaged others further, I made sure to stop that shit. Like it was a very clear line in the sand for me. Like, oh, my damage hurts other people. I need to get this sorted out. Um, so I don't know. I'm a bit hard in that respect, I think. I look fucking pretty tonight. I'm sorry, I just sort of
so, so
um
no, I think
I but like that's my main thing. And I agree with you. Like they're clearly damaged and I have huge amount of sympathy for them up to the point where they stab people. And I'm not saying that you don't. I know what you were saying. Like
yeah,
you were clearly saying the same thing.
yeah,
I just added my flair to it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, totally, because I mean, like you, I mean, I'm just speaking primarily for myself. You know, I don't for 1 minute think that I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. Have I always been a saint, as people say? No, I've not always been a saint. Have I been Have I been violent? No, I haven't. But to that point, with the past I've had, I've done everything I can to not go down that road, because here's a little bit of a trivia for you. Not every person who has experienced some form of child abuse
Yeah,
go on to repeat that. Now, of
exactly.
course, there are some who do go on to repeat those same patterns and
Yeah.
end up doing the same thing, of course. But that's not a given for everyone.
No,
And
and
so,
like
so if you were to look at that stereotypically, I should be narcissistic, but I'm not, because I've done everything I can to not do that.
yeah,
Right? So yes, we all have our demons, if you want to call it that. But what you do not do is you do not take the life of an innocent young person. I don't
mm,
care what your views are, right? I don't. I really couldn't give a flying fuck. If
no,
you don't like the person because they're trans, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Go live your life. Let that person live theirs. You don't need to, in the case of Beyond Jai, take a person's life away. Or in the case of this person, you don't need to attempt murder or because you don't like their existence.
No.
You just don't.
And it's like piss easy to not murder people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
It
it's
really it
actively like
really is.
not
It really is easy.
like not doing anything is always easier than doing something. And like you, all you have to do to not kill someone is to not do anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Do fuck
Um,
all.
yeah, like just and and experiences and like things that happen to you that has damaged you, that can be an explanation. It can never be used as a justification. It's like I get I get why Dahmer, for example, drilled a hole into the head of a person and like hell, like poured Drano down there because he wanted to make a sex zombie. But like him wanting to make a sex zombie because of his own damage doesn't mean he can do that to another person. Like it makes it understandable, but it doesn't justify it, and it's fucking weird how people seem to want to justify their actions with this kind of shit. Like, oh, it's literally a joke on Scrubs. Uh, Jordan on Scrubs has the whole "my parents were mean to me" thing for why she's such a cunt, and then at some point, she says something horrible, and then Elliot, I think it is, reacts with, "Oh, but your parents were mean to you," and her only reaction is, "No, they were actually really nice people." So
Yeah.
that's kind of sort of uh, now this is clearly a person using like a lie as a and it's a comedy as well, but there's something there like that's the type of sense that I get from people doing that. Like I get people having shit to deal with, um, but that allows them to deal with that shit, and it allows them some leeway in how they choose to deal with that shit. That leeway stops the second it hurts another person. For me,
Yeah,
um,
exactly. Yeah, totally. I totally agree. It's like, it's like I've said this before, you know, and this is obviously a hypothetical. I could very easily, right, given obviously my past, um, and given the circumstances I was hypothetically, I could very easily, you know, go into that and become a statistic because
yeah,
that's what society would deem the stereotype of a victim of child abuse, or they go on to become the abuser. That's the stereotype that the society has become used to. And it's like,
yeah,
actually, no, that's not the stereotypical or stereotype of a victim. But it's weird how they twist the narrative to suit their agenda. And it's like all you're doing is you're just constantly lying to yourself. That's all you're doing. You're gaslighting yourself. That's what you do.
yeah, yeah. And it's like I find that just realize this. I find a lot of like my life and experience, I have this sort of never become a statistic is kind of a good way to live your life. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
um, I
It's like,
think,
yeah, it's like, it's like that saying, don't live your life, don't always live your life as the victim,
yeah,
and it's like, yeah, okay, obviously you're going to be left with scars. They may not be visible scars, but they are scars nonetheless. Yes, of course, you're going to be left with some damage. You may be left with PTSD, suicidal thoughts, whatever the case may be, right? But you don't need to live your life as a victim. Yes, champion knows who don't have a voice, but this victimhood mentality, in my opinion, is a bit of a pointless exercise
yeah,
because the
I
only person
would
you're really
agree.
hurting is yourself.
Yeah,
No one else but you.
yeah. It kind of locks you into it kind of sets your destiny for you, which I don't like. Uh, I I I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah. And, if anyone out there who listens to this, disagrees with me, hey, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
It's fine to disagree with people. What's not fine is either, acting all tough online, saying you're gonna beat me up or whatever, or, say that I'm talking shit.
yeah.
No. Like, at the end of the day, right, we've gotten to a point in society where we're having to deal with fucking 6'4" fucking plebs like Grinner online,
He
and
is
it's
so
like,
fucking tall.
seriously, like, just shut the fuck up.
He's such a fucking
So
ogre.
yeah, if you disagree with me, and if you disagree with Max with anything that she says, that's fine. We all have our different points of view.
At
We
some
just
point, we're
don't.
going to come to my really fucking weirdly controversial opinions, and then people will
Yeah,
definitely disagree with me.
yeah. But
Let's talk
yeah, but
cannibalism next
what
episode.
you don't do is try and need to kill someone because of what they stand for. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and like just for being who they are. Like if someone wants to kill me, then fine, do it. Like I'm immortal anyway, so just fucking try. Um, I keep saying that, and people keep saying no, you're not, and I keep saying prove it, and they never do. So I don't know. Uh,
Yeah,
but like if someone wants to kill me, I'm kind of fine with that as long as they don't want to kill me for being trans because that's so fucking boring. Like if you want to kill me, do it for some fun reason at least. Like do it because like I don't know. I'm more okay with people like wanting me dead because of my um not abuse of but like regular use of narcotics than I am with like being trans because being trans is literally nothing I've done. I have worked hard to get the tolerance to narcotics that I have today. Like if someone wants to kill me for that, I'm fine with it. If someone wants to kill me for being trans, you're a boring person and you should get a better motive. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you just like said it perfectly there. It's like,
Like I'm a massive shithead. I can definitely. There are people on Twitter that have complete reasons to want me dead. Like I have done and said shit that is so fucking out of the realm of acceptability. But being trans isn't one of them. That's just something that
Yeah.
I am. That's just me. Um,
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and I'm
I
really
don't know
good at
if
makeup.
I don't know if I brought this up on the last podcast. I don't think I did. But I had this one woman. I think I did actually. I'm not sure. Anyway, I had this one woman who was spouting the same transphobic nonsense as always, and every time she would reply to one of my replies, she would say, "Okay, broken man." And it's like, broken man,
Yeah.
broken
What?
man, broken man.
Why
The
did
first time
they?
she said it, I let it slide. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. She kept on repeating it. I was like, and the final reply, and ever since then she's gone quiet. But my last reply to her was, "You seem to constantly repeat broken man. Is this in reference? I'm paraphrasing. In reference to my mental illness. Because why else would she
Yeah.
say broken man? I was like,
Yeah. I did. Like,
get life. Like, do
was
you
this
really
another
try
one
to?"
of? Was this
And
another
what
one
she
of those who
basically did
thought you were
was,
a trans woman?
she didn't say that. No, I didn't. I could have
Oh.
asked that question, but I didn't. Because I couldn't be asked. I said to her, "So you're basically stereotyping that mentally ill people are broken, which isn't the case." And ever since then, she's gone quiet.
Yeah, because you
I haven't
fucking
heard a
ruined
peep
her.
out of
Yeah, I mean, she couldn't really respond to that one, because she got fucking wrecked by it.
her. Like,
Uh,
if you're gonna say to me, I'm a broken man, then okay, if you think I'm a broken man because I've got a mental illness, then that says more
yeah,
about you than it does me.
yeah.
But yeah, like
I never liked that. I really never liked the whole like mental illnesses make you broken, like the ID, and it's so fucking common.
yeah. Well, the thing is, this woman, she was a bit pally with the other woman, April, who I dealt with previously,
Oh, yeah.
and I basically told her to shut the fuck up.
I've realized
In
I'm
a
really
way,
bad at keeping. Speaking of like being pals and stuff, like I'm so fucking bad at keeping track of everyone that I fuck with on Twitter. I've noticed because I had this like on my alternative account, which I've been using quite a lot now because spent like 2 weeks right after each other being locked out of my main account for the whole rolling bullshit. Apparently telling her that the only way she can get better is via bullets didn't really make her fans happy. But after that whole thing, there was this one guy who was just like spamming all my tweets on my alternate account until I was just like, I'm sorry, who are you? And then it just kept spamming me with gifs, and I was like, no, but you're talking to me as if I should know who you are, and I have no clue. And then it just went completely silent because it's like, yeah, I get you someone who I fucked with, like you clearly are. It's just I don't remember doing it because I don't care enough about you people.
yeah,
So it was
that
really nice to see that sort of. Um, oh, I'm not important to her at all. Like he was acting like he was my fucking nemesis or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like this is the perfect example of them being the really fragile ones because
Yeah,
the slightest bit of a comeback you have, or if you just say to them, like, just fuck off, you whatever, they get so easily offended. It's beyond laughable at how fragile they really are. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like it
try
would be
and
cute if it wasn't so
they
fucking
try
cynical.
and they try and turn that around on me, try and turn that around on you or whoever. And it's like, seriously, like, I've been called far worse on Twitter.
Yeah, I love it when they say I'm fragile. I'm sorry, I need to switch my headphones because these run out of battery. So I just. I hope this. I'm so sure. Can you still hear me? Fuck me. I'm gonna. Okay, now I can.
Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to see. Jesus fucking Christ, the entire thing drops off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, my
Yeah.
my other headphones ran out of battery. I'm going to need to hold this because this entire fucking thing just came off. So
Yeah, that's fine.
this I'm a fucking perfect co-host. Yeah, I'm so happy I'm finally screen grabbing another episode because I'm going to need to do a video about this shit. Uh, Me holding a microphone like a fucking idiot. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Sorry.
Yeah, I was basically saying that, I've been called worse on
Yeah.
Twitter. Like, do you really think calling me a broken man is gonna work? Like,
Yeah.
no,
They're really under
just
they're really under this weird impression that their opinions matter at all to you. Like,
it's like your opinion doesn't matter because I don't really care
yeah.
either way. Like, I don't. You're just a random woman on the internet who, for all intents and purposes, you're probably not a woman for a start, because there
No,
was no
they
women who's, those flipping avatars.
no. I love the
It's
fact
like,
that I have like a picture of my face as a profile pic, and I'm fighting like people with fucking anime avatars, and they calling me like a fake woman.
yeah, that's how stupid they are.
Yeah. And
Like,
then they're saying I look so fucking manly. Like, I'm sorry. Um, I know I sound like a dude. Like, I'm not fucking delusional, but I do not fucking look manly. Like, what the fuck? Even presenting male, I have never looked manly. What the fuck? Like, I was a cute little twink, and then I became a fucking psychotic trans woman.
yeah,
Oh, yes, I managed it.
it's like, we said, like, I mentioned it like probably a few episodes ago. The amount of times right? And it hasn't happened recently, which I'm kind of like, which I'm kind of sad about really because I really wanted them to like call me it again, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll happen at some point. The amount of times they misgendered me for a trans woman was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it was,
like they, like your eyes need testing.
oh yeah,
If you think I'm a woman,
it's really funny
but
as well. Like um, because I talk about when I talk about trans women, I use like they. I don't say us, not
yeah,
for any reasons other than like I talk about it as a group, and I don't really like belonging to any groups, so I sort of remove myself. It's not that I'm hiding that I'm trans. I'm not fucking ashamed of it, uh, because I shouldn't be. But because I do that, they often think that I'm talking about them as like separate from me, which means that when I do that and they don't know that I'm trans, they never fucking figure it out until someone else makes it clear to them, and then it's like, oh, I knew all along. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't though, because then you would have misgendered me. Instead, you slut shamed me, which means that you consider me a woman because you slut shame me, and you slut shame women because you're sexist fucks. Like all turfs are
yeah,
sexists. It's that simple.
yeah, exactly. It's like it's like I don't profess to be racist at using the English language, like English
No.
literature. Like I don't profess to be a fucking expert at the language, but the amount of times I've seen turfs, gender criticals, they're one and the same person, people.
Yeah,
Sorry, they just try and use w- to, those two words to confuse you.
yeah.
The amount of
Gender
times I've
critical.
seen them try and have an intellectual conversation surrounding the English language or the use of it, it's like you can't even have a civil conversation with a trans woman without you having to misgender her, calling her a man, talk about their genitalia or anything else except for have a conversation. You can't do that. So why would a trans woman waste their time having a conversation with you when you can't even keep track of the conversation that we previously had?
No, and like you're supposed to, like, if you want a civil discussion, which they claim to want, you're actually supposed to address the person the way that they prefer to be addressed. Like that's one of the, like, if you want to have a civil discussion, that's kind of what you do, even if you don't agree with it. Um, wh- because it shows a kind of fundamental respect for that person that is necessary to have a civil conversation. It's why I always go in guns blazing, because I don't have any respect for these fucking people and I want them to know it. But they claim to want a civil discussion. Like, at least I'm open about what I want to do. I don't want a civil discussion. That would bore the shit out of me. I want them to cry.
Oh yeah,
And I know I manage it as well, because like misgendering turfs make them so fucking angry.
oh yeah. Like, if one of these people said to me that actually one of these people did say it to me What did she say? Oh yeah, she wanted me to go away and cry because of something because according to her, I wasn't getting my way. And I sent her a reply saying, "Do you know what I'd like you to do?" I did a few. I did like 3 like dashes, jump off a cliff, and I haven't heard from her since.
Maybe she did.
Like
They're so fucking easy to break.
it's like I said to one person. I think this was like a few weeks back. This was to another woman as well. I seem to be getting all of my interactions with TERFs seem to be with women or who claim to be women
Yeah.
because they never actually show their true identity. I said to this woman, like, "How old are you?" Because you're acting like a child. And I said that, and and they do love whenever you say to one of these people, you do realize you're acting like a child. They do love to turn that around, and automatically assume that you are certainly in my case, they all of a sudden assume that I'm some sort of paedophile or groomer, or because I said to them, "Oh, you're acting like a child because you're being
What?
petulant."
You didn't
And it's
say
like,
you're
how
acting
do
like a child, which is why I want to fuck you. You said you're acting like a child because they're acting like a child. What the fuck?
yeah,
That's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard.
exactly. And it's like, and I and with this one interaction, that he was being petulant because he was acting like a child, literally, right? I was like, so he said what he said, and I was like, right. So I said, so you are acting like a petulant child, right?
Yeah.
Petulant teenager to give the extension. Yet somehow within that, you've taken that information and you've come up with, oh, because I said that, I must be a paedophile. No context. Look at the
Yeah.
context. But
They're
no, you
fucking
don't.
brain dead. Like actual
It's
fucking
like,
brain death at this point. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's so
oh
dumb.
yeah,
I'm uh, I'm actually I'm flabbergasted, so to say. Um, Weird fucking tangent we ended up on.
well,
I just realized we were talking about like trans people getting
hey,
fucking
that's
stabbed
happened.
14 times.
Yeah.
Sorry, not supposed to say that while laughing, I think. We were just talking about some hate crimes. Uh,
Yeah. The last
welcome to the shit
few
show.
words. Lower,
But it was good,
lower.
Tadian, though. I just want to say
Yeah,
it was good. It just popped into my head where we started the conversation.
yeah. I do that. I do that all the time with my friends. I end up
Yeah,
going
me
on a
too.
tangent,
I'm
and then
really good at
somehow,
finding my way back, though.
yeah,
Like,
Um,
I remember my boyfriend told me that when we just met, that he was impressed. Like, I think it might have been like the first time we met, I was talking really fast, and like I do that. Like I talk as if I'm stressed out all the time, but I'm not. I don't actually feel stress in the sense that people seem to describe it. I don't really understand that feeling. Instead, I just like near myself a burnout and then run into a stroke instead. That's my way of dealing with stress. But he was impressed that I could go on like 40-minute tangents and then come back and find my way, like meticulously going through point by point, actually finally reaching a conclusion to the first thing I said. And I had to explain to him that it's an amazing amount of ADHD mixed with just incredible amphetamines. Like that's. I was
yeah,
sober though the first time I met him because I don't do drugs the first time I meet people. It feels weird. Like unless they know about my drug use, and he kind of didn't at that point. I had to. He didn't find out until I brought him. Sorry, this is really a tangent, but it's a funny story because he didn't find out until I brought him home back to my place, and I had forgotten like a bag of 100 grams of amphetamines on the table, and I had to like. I don't have a drug problem, but I do enough drugs that people think is a problem. And he just sort of shrugged and believed me, which is like, I am either the most convincing fucking person of all time or he's a fucking idiot. 1.5 years in and I still haven't decided which one it is. Love you.
yeah, I can. When I go on a tangent, it can last, but like you, I can always seem to find my way back in
Yeah,
to what
it's
we were
a
talking about
talent.
before.
You kind of
Yeah,
need to when you are prone to tangents. And now we have a
yeah,
tangent about tangents.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm in such a cunt
the
mood.
yeah, so Laura McKay, CEO of LGBTQ plus youth charity, Just Like Us, said, "We are horrified to hear that yet another trans girl has been stabbed in the UK this past weekend.
Yeah,
No one should ever have to fear for their safety because they are a part of the LGBT plus community. Just 1 year on from the murder of Brianna Jai, we are still witnessing anti-trans jokes in Parliament, shocking comments across social media platforms and newspaper headlines that seek to mock and vilify. It is clear that transphobia in any guise and at any level leads to devastating hate crimes. Yeah, it does. And although it's not in the topics of discussion this week, but good old Rishi Sunak has doubled down on his joke, saying that effectively there was nothing wrong with it. Nothing
yeah,
wrong with his joke.
yeah. I saw that.
And it's like,
Get fucked.
how fucking tone deaf do you need to be? Like
Yeah,
seriously. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, there was actually. How do you
just
like it? How do you like it if your kid, who, you know, his children are young, right? So
yeah,
let's say, again, in another hypothetical, that his son or daughter was 15, 16. And let's suppose that their son struggled with gender dysphoria, and did so since he was, say, 8 years old, right? And his son turned out to be trans, right?
Yeah.
And also, let's suppose, hypothetical, and I don't wish anyone to go through this, your trans daughter was killed the same way Brianna Jai was. Would you make the same joke then?
I've had
Because I bet you wouldn't.
no, and like I don't have any kids, and I never will, for multiple reasons. But like I have my students who I care a lot about, and if this happened to any one of them, I would fucking kill the person. Like I would make it my life mission to make their life a living fucking hell. The person who did it to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucking despicable. Is all it is.
Yeah, it's like,
and nothing wrong with the. There's nothing wrong with the joke. Thing is, it wasn't a fucking joke, was it though? Like it was just dressed up as a joke, but you were saying what you really
yeah,
meant, you fucking cunt.
yeah.
Like
So
that's me going like, oh, I was only pretending to tell someone to jump off a fucking cliff. No, 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 no. If I do it, I absolutely want you to jump off a fucking cliff. Like,
yeah,
ugh.
yeah.
Even jokes
And
like,
this is why, and I'm just putting it out there. I don't vote. Um, you know, I have my reasons. I don't trust the government. They can all go fucking die in a hole for like it.
opportunistic fucking cunts is what they
But
are.
I can't wait for him to leave.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I'd probably move to another country. But that's just me. But anyway, um, the next article um, is Pandora. Pandora advert featuring lesbians outrages conservative Christian group 1
Good.
million moms. Oh, what joy! Let's An advert for jewelry brand Pandora featuring two women hugging and kissing has angered members of a conservative Christian group. What fun! The
I want to.
commercial shows various people giving one another gifts, including a straight couple with a child who are getting engaged, a daughter receiving a bracelet from her mother, and a lesbian couple with a necklace. The lesbian couple look at each other, hug, then kiss briefly as the camera pans out. And
What the
so,
fuck?
2 weeks ago, conservative Christian group 1 Million Mums published a statement on their website claiming that Pandora was showing an alternative lifestyle to flaunt their jewelry. Unfortunately, Pandora blatantly throws homosexuality in the viewer's face with the lesbian couple's intimate embrace. They then claimed they were remaining diligent in standing up for biblical scripture. Oh, you go fuck off, you Bible fucking nonsense, which prohibits sexual perversion of this type, and that God will not tolerate this sinful behavior.
Uh, then fuck God, I guess. I'm sorry. I place myself above God in pretty much all respects, and I think everyone should as well, because God is just a subject and not an object. meaning that whatever God believes is also subjective, and God is wrong on this. I just need to. I just found this on out.com because I had to search the name. You know how I am about language.
Yes.
So I had to just search 1 million moms, and this is on out.com. I can send you the link later, but this one was really funny though. According to the National LGBTQ nonprofit, I don't know which one that is. GLAD. It's GLAD. They're referring to GLAD. According to GLAD, 1 million moms does not, in fact, count millions of members amongst its ranks. Instead, the name reportedly refers to just one right-wing activist, Monica Cole. It's just one bitch. In an op-ed published on GLAD's website, contributor Jeremy Hooper says Cole is quite literally the only staff member he has ever heard anyone name. She's the one and only person who appears on their petitions, as well as the one and only person who speaks for them to the media, he writes. She is the mom. Her, solo, one person supposedly representing 1 million. Jesus fucking Christ. These people need to get their heads out of their asses. Even I'm not as narcissistic, and I claim to be a literal fucking deity all the time.
Yeah, like that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was
mean,
so happy. I knew it
speaking of
wasn't
the
1
Bible,
million.
right?
Yeah, sorry.
I've read the Bible.
Yeah.
I've read the Old Testament, and I've read the newer version. Bear in mind, this was probably going back to when I was in secondary school, when I read the newer version. But I've read both, and the Irish part of my family are probably, I haven't looked into this, but they're probably Catholic. I'm not religious, never have been. I'm more spiritual than religious, but I've read the book. That put that aside. The Bible is a load of bollocks. Like, point blank.
Yeah, and it's a shit narrative as well. Like,
Yeah,
the protagonist is literally all powerful. It's kind of a Mary Sue.
Yeah, it's like take the Noah's Ark, for instance. What a glaringly obvious plot hole if it was a movie.
Yeah.
Like, really, he built a boat big enough to have, what was it, 40 different animals.
Yeah, like two of every kind.
Yeah, like
I bet the fish were fucking confused when he just dropped them. I know the fish wasn't on the ark. I'm not an idiot. That was a joke. This is kind of why I seem to be the only person in the world who actually liked Darren Aronofsky's Noah, because he just steered right into the insanity and made this really fucking weird, like, art piece out of the story. Great fucking film, but it's absolutely fucking bizarre. Although I also consider Mother to be a masterpiece, so yeah. If you didn't like that one, might not check out Noah.
Yeah, but yeah, that what you just read about the 1 million mom.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, like I knew it wouldn't be 1 million, but so I had to check it up. Like, be my usual pedantic sort of like, oh, you're actually 100,000 or something.
because I expected them to at least be a group. I didn't expect it to be one fucking loser in her fucking basement,
Yeah.
just being angry at people for not being straight, Christian, and white. I don't know why I expected that, because they always are. Fucking
Yeah.
hell! I would, if my life
There's
was
quite
that
a
fucking
few, there's
broken.
quite a few of these like sort of like organizations where they're only just like ran by like one person, and it's like,
Yeah, can I
do
do
you
that?
have really gone to all of that effort for
I-
nothing?
I'm going to register an organization until next time. I'm gonna fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'll be about. I don't know, Narcotics Anonymous or something. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I hope that my ADHD will allow me to do this. If it will, by next week, by next recording, I will have organized something. I will have
Yeah.
I will have registered something. We'll see what it will be. This will be fun.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Also launched a petition which urged its followers to sign if they agree that the commercial was inappropriate, calling on the company to pull its LGBTQ plus inclusive ad immediately. The website states more than 14,000 people have signed it so far. Yeah, right. By signing the petition, signatories are agreeing that the lesbian couple offended them. Oh, what a shocker. And that they will not support Pandora if the firm continues to feature adverts with same-sex couples. And then it says, is a relatively small group, one person,
No shit.
and believed by many to have far fewer than 1 million followers.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
about
they do.
literally 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that.
This
But
was a
yeah,
fun story. I'm happy about how this
I
turned out.
will.
I'm going to
Yeah,
make sure to send you the link right
I
now,
will
though.
gladly laugh about that.
I'm
Article.
going to send you the link, and I'm going to like screenshot the part of the as well. Sorry, it's just it's this is the best thing that has happened to me all day. I've had a kind of slow day, if you don't. There's the quote, and no, that's not the fucking article. That's my weird picture I took of this recording and sent to my boyfriend. There we go. I almost accidentally sent you something else. I'm shit. I had this like I have this great picture of my ass that I accidentally almost like posted on Twitter like 15 fucking times because I was going to post another picture. Because I'm so fucking shit at this. I think
Yeah, I'll read that
yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Right. We will quickly get through this because we've been on for over an hour. So,
Oh yeah, we
right,
are.
New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers and podcast host Joe Rogan spouted lies and half-truths about transgender youth on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Why am I not surprised? Because I'm not. Claiming that doctors and woke liberals are talking kids into transitioning just to make money.
Like
That's not
Joe
the
Rogan
case,
is such
but
a
okay.
Joe Rogan is so weird because like I can tolerate him if the person he's interviewing is like at least somewhat intelligent. Like I actually did
really enjoy his interview with Chuck Palahniuk, but that's only because he's a fucking nothing of a person and just mirrors whatever the fucking idiot sitting in front of him is saying. Like the fact that he actually pushed back against Ben Shapiro when he was spouting racist bullshit is fucking astounding to me, because Joe Rogan is such a dumb fucking idiot.
Yeah. The only reason, and I said this to a friend of mine, the only reason Joe Rogan's podcast is successful is one, because Spotify threw a boatload of money at him,
Yeah.
and two, it's all about money.
Yeah.
He pays these guests a lot of money. Right?
Yeah.
Now,
And like,
I don't mind Joe Rogan when he does the UFC stuff. I don't mind him because when he does UFC, he knows what he's talking about.
yeah.
Right? I don't mind him when he does that, but when he does his podcast, which I don't listen to because I don't really want to listen to like a 50-plus-year-old man who is not intelligent. You'd have to think he is, but he's not.
He
It's
really,
about
really,
bullshit.
yeah. And like, just talk about how DMT is life changing, which
Yeah.
it is. It's a great fucking drug, but he talks about it like it's some kind of religious fucking experience or something. But yeah, he's an empty vessel to highlight the views of the person he's interviewing. That's it. He doesn't have any personal beliefs. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, which is why I tolerate him when he's talking to someone who I am interested in, like Chuck Palahniuk, who is one of my favorite
Yeah.
authors, and he's a weird fucking dude as well, which makes it's a weird fucking interview, but it's a good interview because, like, the method that Joe Rogan has, it's actually kind of a brilliant method of interviewing, in the sense that he is just completely vacuous, like he doesn't have a thought in his fucking brain. Which means that the guest really comes through. Like, I could never interview that because I'm a interview like that because I'm a real fucking person, also a raging narcissist. But like, so in that sense, I kind of find it impressive. The thing is, though, that I am impressed by how fucking empty-headed he is, and I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? Joe Rogan reminds me of the early ape theory.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
He's so fucking thick and so vacuous and not with it and stoned out of his head that
Yeah.
he's like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about all the time.
Yeah. It must be hard going through life not understanding a single fucking thing about it. But he really is like, have you seen 2001: A Space Odyssey? Like, at the beginning when the apes like see the monolith and they start like using tools, he's the ape that just turned around and walked off.
Yeah.
I really need to get stoned and watch 2001: A Space Odyssey tonight. I just realized that's what I'm doing later.
Yeah. This is what Aaron Rodgers said. I don't see why they're so hell-bent on going after the kids.
We're not.
They're not going after anyone. You
I don't
dick.
know.
I
Going
think
after the kids.
there's huge money in it, but there's no money in it because no one's gone after the kids. I think it's money, and it's also waving the flag of woke, Rogan said. He and Rodgers claimed young people's brains are not sufficiently developed for them to make life-altering decisions. And Rogan asserted that interviewers are using trick questions to make it appear there's widespread support for young people to transition genders.
But there is. It's like literally,
again,
there's medical support for it. You fucking idiot.
yeah, of people who support gender affirming procedures for youth, Rogan said, you might as well be like, I don't know whether again, this is what I was talking about. He doesn't have a brain.
Yeah.
You might as well be a Scientologist. You might as well be a Mooney. It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same sort of religious like thinking that exists in all sorts of groups of people that we call cults.
Oh yeah,
But no
I'm
one wants to call leftists a cult, he said. First of all, what does a Scientologist have to do with being being trans?
Oh, you see, because I don't conform to like the gender I was observed as birth, that means that I also believe that the evil galactic emperor Xenu threw a bunch of aliens into volcanoes, and those aliens then became our depression. That's clearly the same thing, and Joe Rogan is a smart person, and not the dumbest fucking cunt who walked on two legs. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Oh Jesus Christ! Oh God! I'm going to start a fucking cult to see just force these fucking people to see how a cult I made would look like.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be trans.
Also,
Being trans is way too boring for to be my cult. It's just like it just makes me hotter.
yeah. Rogan also suggested that transition regret is common, which it's not.
It's less
And
common than
the person who wrote this has bleeped this out, but I'm going to say the word anyway.
Yeah.
Even the fucking New York Times wrote a major story about the transitioners. Their lives are ruined. Their bodies are ruined. They can't have children anymore. They lost their breasts. They lost their penis. It's in fucking sanity. Okay, so I don't know what this person is trying to get across by writing this article.
Yeah. Detransitioners are like their stories should be told. Really, because it must be awful. Kind of like I feel bad for them for like kind of like ending up in dysphoria, because that's what it is. It is like the thing that they suffer from. It's dysphoria, which means that our like goals are entwined, so to speak. Which is why pretty much any detransitioner who doesn't do it for the money agrees that trans people are valid. And I would never want to speak over a detransitioner. I don't know that pain, and I feel sorry for them. But fact of the matter is that when we look at the statistics, transition regret is lower than a fucking knee surgery. Like regretting a knee surgery, it's less common than that. It's a fucking not. It's an issue for the people who suffer from it, but from a statistical viewpoint, it is a non-issue. And the fact that it takes up so much of the discussion about trans people is fucking bizarre, especially since the discussion shouldn't be about how trans people aren't valid because less than 1% of them regret it later. It's fucking weird. And I am so fucking sick of this discussion. Sorry to like go on a rant there, but
actually, studies have indicated that transition regret is extremely rare. And certain aspects of transition are not relevant when young people are being discussed. Doctors do not recommend genital surgery for people under 18, for instance. Also, some treatments that affect fertility are reversible.
yeah.
So trans people can and do have children. And the Times piece, an opinion column by conservative writer Pamela Paul, has been widely criticised. It is filled with factual errors and unfounded assumptions about transgender care and the lived experiences of transgender people, according to advocate contributor Erin Reed, who, if I'm correct, I think that's the same person that we both follow on Twitter.
Yeah, I think I follow her at least.
Yeah, although
I know
the
I did.
article
Sorry.
is presented as a piece on detransitioners, the interviews serve as vehicles through which Paul packages inaccuracies and disinformation with faulty citations and claims that are not supported by the evidence she presents. In Slate, epidemiologist Gideon Katz noted that many studies that have shown the rarity of transition regret and pointed out that not everyone who regrets some aspect of their transition or ceases some treatment is a detransitioner. Ultimately, the question of what proportion of kids or adults regret their transition is only important to a select group. The people who want to transition and their clinicians, which, in my opinion, it's only the clinician, the doctor you're dealing with, and you then need to know that information. Mayoris Katz wrote, at worst, the rate of regret is still better than other treatments, which don't require national debate over their use. Which really begs the question of why anyone who isn't directly involved with treatment of transgender people is even weighing in the topic at all. And basically, the last Rogan and Rodgers also spent some time saying asexual people shouldn't be included in the LGBTQ plus community and wondering what it means to be two-spirit. They further claimed that trans inclusive laws and policies for restroom and locker room use are facilitating, here we go again, child molestation. Not true, in brackets, and that someday pedophiles or minor attracted people will be considered a marginalised group worthy of protection from discrimination, a trope that's been used for years to argue against LGBTQ plus equality, and no, it hasn't happened. And they theorised that Russia and its president, Vladimir Putin, are laughing at the US of its acceptance of trans people. Well, that's a fucking laugh, because Putin doesn't care about anyone. But yeah, they used the trope of minor attractive people. So yeah, that's Aaron Rodgers. What is he again? Oh, he's a New York Jets quarterback. Don't really care. And Joe Rogan.
It's about as much of a response as I can give to that one. To anyone watching at home, I mimicked shooting myself in the mouth.
Listening, I mean, I think I said watching.
I'd rather bash my head in with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I'd have more fun. But yeah, those were the 3 articles. And that will do it for tonight.
Yeah, 1.5 hours.
Yeah, we will be back again, obviously, next Thursday, recording another one. So I will put all the links in the description, as well as our Twitter handles, so you can follow us both on there. And I would highly recommend that you do, because it can be a fun time, especially when dealing with stupid people, and interact with us as well. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, that would be it.
I'm a nice person if you interact with me like as a sane person. I'm actually
Yeah,
weirdly polite. It's just to like the people that I have no respect for that I have
exactly.
respect
Yeah.
for them. So, but
but
I'm a nice little girl.
have a great start to the weekend, because obviously I know it's obviously Friday tomorrow, but it's essentially the weekend. So have a great weekend to all of you listening, and to you, and we will see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end recording now,
Bye.
and then